Hello, it's Thursday. It's already 4:30 in the afternoon. I've had all kind of hell today. I went out to try to find some of the weed eater string a while ago, and that red wasp got after me, and I tripped over something, but I didn't hurt nothing. Went to the grocery store. They had these big old turnips, big old turnips for $1.29. Only had one bag of them, and I'll make something out of that. I doubt today, because I'm going to make some, cool food is what you need. You need in this time of the year. So I'm going to make a real quick, let me get the bowl, a real quick, now I love pea salad, and a lot of you said you like pea salad, but I'm going to do that. You can do it up to 6 or I don't know what bean salad, but I'm not going to use that much because I don't need it. So what I put in mine is I get my Louisiana hot sauce, and I put, I'd say teaspoon to tablespoon, whatever. I get a little bit of my sesame oil that I get in the Asian section, and I put about I'd say about a teaspoon, maybe. And then I'll take my olive oil, and I'll put, it depends on how many vegetables you're going to use, so you can kind of eyeball that. And you can always add more, so let's give us a little salt here. Put that in there. Give us some black pepper. We like black pepper. Put that in there. And then I'm gonna drain. I've got a cut green bean, a black-eyed pea, a sweet pea for right now. That's what I'm gonna do for right now. And I'm draining those in the sink. And each one, here's the green bean. I'm just gonna put it in my bowl. Here's these Libby's sweet peas that I usually make my pea salad out of. Let me get the black-eyed peas drained. When I was a kid, we'd have this all mixed together. People would make it out of the garden, And so now we got our peas. Easy, so easy. And then I'm going to take a can of my petite diced tomatoes. And I'm going to drain them. You don't have to drain them all the way. If you want a little of that tomato sauce flavor, that's fine too. Now, you see, I could have used the dark red kidney beans, I could have used the black beans, and I could have used whole kernel corn. But if I do that, that's 3 more cans that are going to go back here in the cabinet, because that's too much. That's just too much. Unless I'm having a dinner party or something like that. So now I'll add some onion powder. I'm going to add onion to this, but I want to go ahead and get my onion powder in here. About a teaspoon. And Let me look here a minute. I want my garlic powder. I use the Fiesta spices because I like the way that they flavor my stuff. Now with my onions, you know I buy those frozen onions. So what I do is I will take those in a bowl and I'm just going to use the instead of chopping in it because I like a lot of onion. So what I'll do is I'll put these frozen onions into the microwave and we will just let them be on there about 3 minutes, 2 minutes, depends. Let me get me a paper towel to wipe my hand. Okay. You know, I got to looking for some bowls and some spoons, and you know what? I left them in the dishwasher. Couldn't find them. What I have now. Now this is the way you piece salad books with your other stuff. And now you can put blocks of cheese in it if you're having a, you know, a dinner party. But I'm not going to because I just want this with the onions and I want it to marinate and get cold in the icebox. So that's what we're gonna have. You can look up that 6-8 Texas Texas bean salad, pea salad with flat beans and all that. You could use your flat beans in that. Now let me look at my onions and see. Now, see those onions? That was only a minute and a half, but they've already they get that flavor down in there. You know, I've even added over the years. For several parties, I've even added the spiral noodles. So I'll let this marinate. Let me see if I don't have enough of my vinegar. So I'm gonna add, because I don't like that much oil, so I'm gonna add, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Let me show you. My nose, the allergies is so bad today. You know, they're real bad today. Let me get my colander because that's just wetter than I want it. It's wetter than this is wetter than what I want the bean salad. So I'm gonna drain. I got to talking and I probably didn't drain them good, but they will be now. Because you don't need all that liquid in there. And I got to talking, I bet. So we're going to take that liquid out. So it'll be more of an oil and vinegar type dish. But see, with this pandemic going on with all this explosive, you know what, we've got to have something besides coleslaw and salad greens. And the only thing I could think about was, why don't you do the old bean salad or pea salad? So we're going to do the bean salad. Now see, I've drained that. I've drained that off there, and that makes it more of a pea salad. Don't look like soupy, too soupy. Right now we just take vinegar, apple cider, and just put that around on it. Mix that in. So that's a good little, and once that cools, see that olive oil and stuff will kind of congeal a little bit, get a little thicker, and I'll put a little bit of lime juice, just a little bit of my Melvin Joe's Key West, the lime juice, not the lemon, and that'll just give it another little boosty, little boosty. Okay, so there we go. With that, we'll get us a little spoon and let me taste of it to make sure. I want to make sure that the seasoning is right. It's good, y'all. That is good. Done just enough hot sauce, just enough of everything. It's really good. So we did well on that one. I hope we would. So I'm going to put this in the, cover it with my plastic wrap. I'm going to get some of this seal and press and seal. And just put the lid over it a little bit. Let's see. Get that kind of pressed and sealed down just long enough to let it cool. Because I'm going to make a little roast gravy for us to have on bread. I'm going to get this in the ice box. And let me get our roast and gravy out. Oh, y'all, it's been hot today. It's hot in here, but that's just expected in the kitchen. So now we've got this, and this is our roast, and I'm going to chop it a little more. This is our juices from the pork roast. So I wanted a roast gravy, and what I'm going to do then is I'm going to rinse this little onion bowl out I had, so I don't have to dirty another dish. I don't have nobody. The kids don't. Got the kids. I don't even know if that helped. Now they used to. As us kids, we always. So now what I do is I just go around that and pull that white lard off of that, because that grease has got cold, and see, that's some pork fat, and that just skims off the top of that. If you'll put that down in your ice box for a day or until it gets cool, and then all you've got left, you got all this fat out of that. Now, if you wanted to, you could use that to cook with. We're not going to, but I've seen people use it to flavor stuff and whatever, but that goes into my garbage because I don't want that in my gravy and stuff. So let me set this over here. Look at this stove again. I hear Mama, she's got on had on the View, and now she's got on Grandma Lois. I went by the library today and I got a new book. I don't know how new or when it was even put out. It's 26. So I like mysteries. And I'm going to read this and we'll see. This was copyrighted in like 2012, but it's about the Scotland Yard and the Ripper in 1889. Jack the Ripper's reign of terror is finally over, but a new one is just beginning. So I thought, well, it'll give me something to sit and read like I have time to do it. I doubt I will, but I thought I might try to take back up reading because I had saw Kentucky Life with Debbie. She gets on and reads the Strawberry Acres books to her audience. I'm not going to read no books. I'm not like her with not cooking. I'm not going to read books. You know, I did a couple and all that trying to figure out the AI, but I'm just not going to do that. I don't think. I'm just not going to do that I know of. So now I'm just going to make a little roast gravy. I'll tell you, I'm going to go ahead and cut that roast. Instead of just making the gravy, I am going to get one of my little deals here, and we're going to just chop that roast. Get pieces of it, and then just chop the roast. You know, it was so tender, Lord. But it's cold now, you know. But once this heats up, I try to get all the fat out of it. You know, I try to get all the fat out. And so I'm just going to chop about half a cup. Because I love roasting gravy. Always have. I froze some of those okra patties because there were too many for us. So I'm just going to put that into my little pan here. Turn on the fire. Turn on the fire. And I'll transfer this to another pan. There's some more. Let's just kind of, so we don't have to. This was one of the best roasts that I have cooked in a long time. That was all in that Instapot too, you know. And I try not to leave anything out very long. I'm talking about just like, let me get another lid for this. I'll put that into a different deal here in a minute. I'll set it there, but I'll get it put up. So I had froze some of those potato okra patties. And so they've been thawing out because I thought, there's no sense in wasting food, y'all. There is no sense in wasting food, and I can't say that enough. It may not be the best. As my friend always said, it might not be the best, but it's good enough. You know, instead of wasting stuff. No sense in it. Lord, with these prices, and we don't have our gardens, you know, so we have to do something. So I'm just heating this roast up, getting it kind of heated up. Now, I won't use all this juice. There's no way that I will use all that. Now, if I had the whole roast, yeah, I would. But I will take, probably a pretty big dollop. And there's your dregs in the bottom of good pieces of roast. And that just, see how that just dissipates. I mean, now it's just roast and the gravy. See there? Can you see down in there? I think you can. So now it's just roast and gravy. And that would be too strong. Let me turn that down. That would be too strong of a. And that's just about enough for Mother and I. Maybe a little more than enough. But see, that's got. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll get a little cornstarch. Not much. Good flour. Got cornstarch. I just put about that much, half tablespoon, cornstarch in there. A little water, room temperature water, or not real hot or nothing, because that will make lumpy. If you go with regular water, and that'll just pour that down in there. That'll thicken that up. That'll get that thickening up here. See how that's thickening up already. And you let it cook a little bit. But that's good to put on mashed potatoes, on bread. See how that's thickening up? So that's just a good roast and roast gravy. These, since I'm not gonna, I'll probably put a couple of those. Now y'all can go back on the video. Let me turn that on off. And look at these potato okra patties. So that leaves about 2 large ones. Let me put these in the microwave. Okay. Now then, let's see about this. That's good. That nida could have been a little bit thicker. Could have been just a hair thicker. So what I'm gonna do? Take me a little more water, a little more cornstarch. So it'd be about a tablespoon, a heaping tablespoon, for that little pan. And there we go. There we go. And that should thicken that right on up. And it did. It did. Thickened it right on up there. Let's get that little spoon. Let's rinse it off. And let me try this just to see if the flavor is not going to burn my mouth. Oh, that's good. Good roast gravy. Got enough salt, enough pepper, everything. So there's our roast gravy. Roast and gravy mix. Look at this stove. All right, let's check our little okra patties. Whew. Boy, they smell good. That's those okra patties that I fried. They'll be just as good after I've took them out of the fridge, maybe better. That's when I put them in there. Because, let me get a mother's little, oh shoot. I'll tell you, I can't hold on to anything anymore with this arthritis. So I'm going to give her this bitty okra baby, little okra patty. And then I will get a piece of light bread. It'll be brown. The whole wheat, Ozarka Heart. They're thin and they're good, kind of like homemade bread in a way. Not exactly, but kinda. And I'll just take that, cut that right in half. And then we're going to do our roast gravy on this because that's what makes it good. Right there, like that. I don't know, she might eat that. We're going to act like she will. But roast gravy, you can't beat it. It's just an old Southern favorite. And I got it all over her spoon, so I've got a fork, so I've got to rinse that off. Yeah, and it's getting hot in here. I went out though with the wasp, and they got mad at me. Billie Jean, Billie Jean. I said, well, I'm doing the best that I can, and I know y'all are too. Now we can get some of it's not had time to cool, just a little bit. I should have put it in the freezer. But here's some of our bean salad. Now, if you don't like tomatoes, don't put them in there. You can add what you want to this. You can add celery. You can add whatever you want. But it's a good cold salad, and that's what we're going to have. That's what we're going to have right here. Okra Patties is online for you to follow. The roast, several roast recipes. You've got the gravy. There's probably more on there. And now you've got the pea salad, the green bean, I don't know what to call it. Just the bean salad, I guess, because it's not just peas, it's beans and a lot of everything. I was going to show y'all, because I didn't, last night that camera kept cutting off because the storage wasn't cleaned out. Here in the ice box is our buttermilk pie. So I wanted you to see the buttermilk pie again. And what I'll do is I'll get Mother a piece. I'll go ahead and cut it right now. And then let me get the knife cleaned, because we don't want roast on our pie. So let's just go right down into that. Make sure it's cut, because it's cold. Where is my lifter? I've got my lifter here. And always that crust falls off. Always the crust falls off. But there's the buttermilk pie, and it is delicious. Even with the sweetener added instead of all sugar, it's still a great, great pie. So I was pleasantly surprised. But after I thought about it, Debbie said put the baking soda in it. I thought, that's going to make that buttermilk rise, because if you use baking soda in biscuits and you use buttermilk, that's what makes those big angel biscuits like I do. But I'm hot, and I've got to get out of this kitchen before I pass out. So that's what we're going to have. I just showed y'all. We're going to have our roast gravy, our okra fritters. That's got potatoes in them, and we've got our new bean pea salad. And that's what we're going to have. So God bless you. God bless us. God bless the United States. We love you. We do. Thank you for everything you do to make us happy, and we hope we make you happy. We'll talk to you soon. I got to get Mama fed.